Hey everybody, today we'll do another video, and today we'll do another video on the Calculus 3 section, and we will do something that is called the vector product, which is also known as cross product. So, so what the vector product does is giving you actually the result in a vector form instead of a scalar form, right? And so in this case, I will just do little basic theory how we get to this um, uh, with this topic, and then I will do an example. So basically, let's say that you have two vectors, right? A and B, right? And you want to cross them, right? You want to say it's denoted by that, right? A cross B, right? A cross B, and that is equal to some type of vector that always look like a matrix form, and it will be like A1, A2, B1, B2, and what I am doing in this is I will be crossing this. I will multiply in this diagonally. I will multiply in this. Right? And at the same time, I will be multiplying this. I will be multiplying this, and I will be subtracting this. I will be subtracting this, multiplying this, and at the same time subtracting them, right? So this technically now is going to be something like this. So it's going to be A1 B2 minus B1 A2, right? So now notice that we have this, right? So we have this little, I would say, form or rule how to do it, how we do this vector, how we cross them out, right? Now let's say that we think it in three dimensionals, right? Now, because we're dealing with vectors now in three-dimensional, we would have something like this. So let's say, for example, that you want to construct a matrix or a vector in three-dimensional. Obviously, you want to have x, y, z, right? Now that x, y, z turns into I, j, and k, right? Okay, so now we have this, right? So basically they represent the same thing, right? Now, how we can cross this? If you have A cross B, right? So you cross an A cross B, right? A cross B, right? And then now we have a three-dimensional, right? We have a three-dimensional. We have an extra piece right here with the C. Remember that the C, if you turn it, you're looking down, right? let's say that you are on the top, you are on above somebody's house in a helicopter, right? When you are above somebody's house in a helicopter, you're looking down in the flat roof that you say, or you can say that like a big office, right? Where the roof is flat. You're sitting up there in the helicopter, in the helicopter it's just like this, and you're looking straight down. The roof of the building is the SY plane, right? And that line coming towards you up is the C plane, right? So that's how we think about three-dimensionals, right? And eventually probably we'll do a little MATLAB representation of it, but it's rough to kind of draw this in the board, right? But anyway, right now I'm just going to do an example on this three-dimensional representation of the, on the cross, using the cross product, right? So let's say that you have I, J, and you have a K. And then here we put A1, right? A1, A2, and A3. And then you have B1, B2, and B3, right? Now, the only kind of tricky part that is going to be involved in here is that we will need to be careful when we do the middle part, right? It's not just subtracting this, multiplying this, and subtracting, and subtracting this. It has a little change in the middle, and I will show you that it's very important to remember that step when you're doing this type of calculations. Okay, so let's do this. So let's say, for example, you want A cross B, right? And the way that I do that is I take something like a piece of paper or whatever, and you can use whatever. You can use your hand, your finger, and put across this column, right? And you want to do like this. You want to cover the I, right? And you see J and K, right? You cover I and you see J and K, and then you do like this, right? So you see J and K, and then you're multiplying this and subtracting this. So in this case, it's going to be the following. So it's going to be the following. So it's going to be A2 B3, A2 B3 minus B2 minus B2 A3 minus B2 A3, right? Then you take the next, right? And actually, you know what? Let me just do it on that board right there, because I think to be clear here, right? So, okay, so let's do this. So we do, like I said, we covered this, right? When we cover that, we just get this, right? And we do A2 B3 minus B2 A3 minus B2 A3, right? Now this is when you have to be careful, right? Now, before doing anything else, we put a minus sign and we cross the next one. Now we cross the J, right? I mean, we don't cross the J, we just cover the J. Let me rephrase that. We cover the J, right? So we cover the J column and we say, now I have A1, right? What I see I and K. So I do the following. So I do A1 B3 right? And then minus what? Minus B1A3. Minus B1A3. Right? Then I call it the next one, and the next one is a plus, right? Now when I do this, it's a plus sign. It gets a plus. So it goes plus, minus, plus, right? So now I cover that one, right? Cover the K, and I do A1, B2, minus B2, minus B2, A2, right? Okay, so this is technically, this is equal to A and cross B. A cross B. So, okay, so that is how we derive that formula. Okay, so now let's do an example. Okay, so let's say, for example, that you have, let's say, for example, that we have A cross B, right? It says find A cross B, right? If A is 2, if A is 2, right? If A is 2, comma, 1, and then comma, negative, actually, this is negative 1, comma 6. Right? And when we do the vectors, we put this, kind of less and greater than symbols, right? Okay, that is A, and B is the following. So B is minus 3, comma 5, comma 1, right? Okay, so now we have that. Now let's say that we want to apply this formula, right? Okay, so we will do the following again. So, right? So we'll do I, we'll do J. Okay, and notice that here, they're going to be represented by to make it clear, when you do this is going to be I, right? This is minus. This is going to be J, right? And this is going to be J. And this is going to be K. Right? So here, again, we have the I, J, and then we have, okay, so just let me do just some block, K, right? So the values are here. So we put 2, negative 1, 6, right? Then we do negative 3, 5, and 1, right? Okay, so now we do the math. Again, we covered this. We covered I, right? We cover I, and we get what? We get negative 1. And making sure you put parentheses around the negative numbers because it's easy to make mistakes in this process. So negative 1 minus, okay, so negative 1, right? I multiply this again, negative 1, and I am subtracting this, right? I am subtracting this. And this basically is positive, so you put 30 right there, right? And what goes? What goes in there? The letter that I don't see. Which one is hitting by the paper? Is I. Right? Next, we do the J. Then we have to remember it's a minus sign. After this I, we put a minus sign. Right? Then we do, which one we see? We see K and I, right? K and I columns. And then we do 2, as you can see, 2, 1, right? 2 times 1, right, is 2. And then 3 times this, 6, right, is negative 18. But remember, we're subtracting this, right? And because I am subtracting, I have to put a negative sign here, right? The same thing that I did in this one, but this one was a positive when I multiplied, that's why I just skipped the 30 in there. But in this case, I'm going to have another parenthesis because I'm getting a negative. I got to put negative 18, another parenthesis, and close the parenthesis. And the letter that goes with this is what? The one that I don't see. Which one I don't see? I see the J, right? Okay, so what is the next? The next sign, sign is a positive sign, right? That follows, and I put plus, right? And what letter I don't see? I don't see the K, right? I don't see the K. So how do I do this? Now I see the J, I see I and J, so I do this minus this again, this, 2 times 5 minus 3 times 1, right? And that's negative. Minus negative 3 times negative 1. So then in this case, it's going to be 10, right? And I am minus this. I'm multiplying this, but when I multiply this, this is a positive, right? I am multiplying two positive number, 2 negative numbers, so give me a positive. So I keep it as it is, and then I said, okay, this will give me a positive, and that will be nothing but a 3, right? And I kept K. Okay, so that is A cross B, right? Right, and let's not confuse this with the multiplication. We're not multiplying this, we're crossing them. That's why it's called the cross product, right? Now let's do this. So now in this case, I can simplify this, right? And I can say, okay, so if this is negative and this is negative, this is negative, so I can actually add them. When I add them, I get negative 31, negative 31i, right? And then minus, right? Over here, I gotta be careful a little bit because I need to change I need to change the sign on this one. So I need to change the sign of those, right? So here we get 2 plus, right? So when I change the sign of that becomes a plus. So basically it's a plus 18, right? And then it's a J. I get plus here, right? Again, and I do 10 minus 3 is going to be 7, right? And you, in this case, you don't have to put the parentheses, just put 7K, right? I put the parentheses here, still keep it in parentheses because A, I have not do, the math inside here, and B, I have this, I have to take care of this sign. This belongs to this, to the J, right? So, when I do that, I get 31 I minus, I'm doing it step by step, minus 20 J plus 7K, right? Now I distribute the sign inside and I get what? I get 31 I minus, okay, this is negative, right? So minus 20 J plus 7K. And that's it. That should be that example right there, right? So in other words, as a result, we have a 31 in the X direction. We have a negative 20 in the Y direction, and we have 7 on the Z direction, right? So in other words, it's going to look like this, right? So I'm going to have a 7 up here, going up, right, in this direction, right? I'm going to have 31 going in this direction. Actually, no, because this is X, this is Y, and this is Z, right? So technically, it's going to be like that, right? And that's why I say that this is not easy to draw. So basically, I am going in this negative 31, right? 31 in that direction, right? And then I am going what? I am going on the Y direction, which I don't see back here too. Right? It's another thing or area that I don't see, right? I am going 20, and then I am going, because this is negative, right? Of course, negative. And then on the only one that I'm going positive in this case, and the one that I'm going positive is right here. I'm going 7 unit up, right? 7 unit up, right? So I'm going 7 units positive. I'm going on the negative X. I'm going 31 units, and I'm in the negative Y direction. I'm going 20 units. So that's how will be represented that in the three-dimensional space. And again, this is how what I'm saying is, if you're sitting up on the top of in a building, in a very, very, giant building, and you are above the roof in the helicopter, right? The helicopter is sitting over here, you're looking down, and this will be what you see, right? You will sit down, you will look down, right? Sitting down, looking down, and you will see a flat surface like this. You'll be looking down, right? From the helicopter, this is the building. This is the building. You're looking down, and this is what you see here, right? This is what you see, right? So that's why it's not easy to draw this stuff on the board, but with MATLAB we can actually have a better visualization in how this can be, look at. I would say. Okay, so this is the result for this example on the cross product, and I hope to enjoy this video. If you do, please give me a like. Thank you for watching.